So Senator Bernie Sanders, who's running in the 2020 Democratic nomination, has a new plan to help make a secure retirement a human right. Now, the plan, announced ahead of a discussion at Campaign Seniors Issues Roundtable and the AARP Presidential Forum in Iowa this weekend, would build off several of Sanders' existing proposals, including Medicare for All, slashing drug prices, and expanding Social Security. Already, those are great policies that will help millions of Americans, and of course, millions of seniors. And that's who he's trying to appeal to because, again, he is speaking to the AARP. But beyond implementing, and this according to The Hill, Medicare for All and expanding it to include dental, hearing, and vision coverage, which, by the way, I mean, we all kind of need those, me more so than anybody, at least when it comes to vision. Sanders' healthcare plan will offer seniors supports and services at home, quote, without wait lists, asset and income restrictions, and other barriers, according to the team. Now, Sanders also said he would bolster collective bargaining rights of home care workers and enact something called a Domestic Workers' Bill of Rights to ensure safe working conditions, hoping to attract 7.8 million home health and personal care aides by 2026. Already, I've got some thoughts on that because I have some personal experience, or at least a personal connection to home health care workers, home health aides. So I'll get to that in a minute. But first, he would also offer an expansion of the 1965 Older Americans Act, which seeks to create a new office within the Administration for Community Living to study social isolation among seniors and its impact to provide grants to states and municipalities to address the issue. And finally, this plan would expand the low-income Home Energy Assistance Program to guarantee heating and cooling assistance, bolster the Commodity Supplemental Food Program, combat hunger among seniors, and cap credit card interest rates at 15% to curtail the practices of loan sharks to protect seniors from scams and predatory financial practices and instruments. So, now Sanders wrote of his plan, quote, yes, we can live in a country where every senior lives in dignity and security and does not have to choose between paying for basic necessities like medicine, food, or housing. We will do this by guaranteeing every American the right to a secure retirement, an opportunity to age in place in the community, and by expanding and improving Medicare to include dental, hearing, and vision care. So again, this helps, of course, a lot of seniors, but you also expand Medicare for everybody. It also helps everybody. So a lot of these things not just only help seniors, but help many other people. And so I can't really find any fault with that. Now, so look, everything that Sanders has put out, by the way, kind of works in tandem with everything else. That's kind of the beauty of it, but also the danger, right? Because you take out one linchpin and other things tend to fall apart. But look, all of these policies are trying to build the foundation for a healthy, well-educated, and more just and equal society. And look, I can't be against that. So now here's where it gets personal, right? Not necessarily when it comes to the old age thing, although I have a grandma that is facing her own issues with age, and a grandpa that is taking care of her. But not only that, my mom, when I was living at home, when I was, in my teens, right? 15, 16 years old. She was a home health care worker when my stepdad got into a debilitating car accident. So after that happened, she became a primary guardian and caregiver. And I don't think I've ever shared that with anybody because it's difficult, right? But seeing how, firsthand how difficult it is to be a home health care worker, to deal with somebody who has severe mental and physical disabilities, and the types of things that you have to go through, not just as a family member, but as a home health care worker, I mean, it really gives you a perspective, right? Not an easy time in my life. Definitely not an easy time in her life. I can only imagine how difficult it was, and it just shows that the work that they do is incredible, and the people who do that work are also incredible. And especially, it's one thing to take care of a family member that has been through a debilitating accident or has just gotten old and certain things that happen when you get older, when certain people get older. But to see those who do it for strangers, those people are also incredible. And so I really like that domestic workers' bill of rights because in reality, we do not treat those workers very well. You know, my wife also works in this field. She is a home healthcare aide for people, for elderly people at a home. And let me tell you, personally, they're the most underpaid, underappreciated, hardest working people. So, I mean, that job, it's not for everybody, but it could be a lot better. They could treat their workers so much better. And so here's Bernie Sanders' plan that, it's just a part of it, but it will help. And it's already amazing on that front. And then, of course, you have the help for the seniors themselves, the guarantee of a secure retirement, healthcare, food, heating, etc. Now, of course, there will be a question that, hey, man, look, how are you going to pay for it? How are you going to pay for it? Because they only asked Bernie Sanders that 1 billion times. And it's funny that they never ask that question when it comes to putting in more money to the Pentagon or tax cuts for rich people and corporations. They never ask that question when it comes to policy that helps regular American people. So, I mean, it's really important to point out that, double standard, that you should have everything already paid for, etc., and a plan on how to do that when it comes to domestic policy like this that will help millions and millions of vulnerable people. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a patreon.com/TYTNation set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know how I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.